It was a warm Saturday morning in Brooksville, a small and peaceful American town where neighbors still greeted each other over white picket fences, and the air always carried the smell of fresh-cut grass in spring. I was 12 at the time, old enough to know my parents worked hard to keep our family running but young enough to be curious about every little thing they did. That day, I learned something that would stay with me for years, not because it was shocking, but because it reminded me that joy could be found in the simplest, most unexpected moments. The day started like any other weekend. I woke up to the sound of birds outside my window, their chirping blending with the faint hum of our old air conditioner. Sunlight spilled across my desk, where my half-finished homework sat, and for a moment I considered diving back into bed. But then I smelled pancakes. That meant Mom was already up. And when Mom was up early, there was a good chance Dad was up too. As I shuffled downstairs, I heard faint music playing in the background, a cheery old tune from the 80s. My parents loved playing that music while cleaning or cooking, and sometimes they'd hum along without realizing it. But this time, the sound wasn't just singing. There was laughter. Loud, unrestrained laughter. I peeked around the corner into the living room and froze. There they were, Mom in her old blue sweatshirt and pajama pants, Dad in his weekend jeans and faded Brooksville high t-shirt dancing. Not just swaying back and forth, but actually dancing, hopping side to side, twirling, and holding each other's hands like they were teenagers again. The coffee table had been pushed back, and the couch pillows were scattered on the floor. It looked like they'd been moving furniture around, maybe for cleaning, but somehow they'd ended up in a full-on dance session instead. Mom's hair was a little messy, and Dad's socks didn't match, but they didn't care. They were laughing so hard that neither of them even noticed I was watching from the hallway. Part of me wanted to join in right away, but I stayed hidden for a moment. It felt like I was seeing a side of them that was rare. Two adults who spent most of their time working, paying bills, and handling responsibilities, now looking like kids again. Then Dad dipped Mom dramatically, and she squealed, nearly losing her balance before catching herself. "You're ridiculous," she laughed. "And you love it." Dad shot back, still grinning. That was my cue. I stepped into the room. "What are you guys doing?" I asked, half laughing myself. They both stopped and turned toward me, slightly embarrassed but not enough to hide their smiles. "We're taking a dance break," Mom said. "You can't clean the living room without a dance break. It's the rule." "I didn't know that was a rule," I replied. "Well, it is now," Dad said, holding out his hand to me. "Come on, you're part of this too." At first I hesitated. Dancing with my parents wasn't exactly what I'd planned for my Saturday morning. But the music was infectious. Before I knew it, I was stepping side to side, copying their goofy moves. We must have looked ridiculous, the three of us spinning and stomping in the middle of the living room. But it was fun. Really fun. We danced through 2 songs before collapsing onto the couch, all of us out of breath. Mom went to the kitchen to flip the pancakes while Dad turned the music down a little. I could hear them chatting and laughing while I sat there, feeling different. Happier. Later, while we ate breakfast together, Dad explained that when they were younger, he and Mom used to dance all the time at parties, in their tiny first apartment, even in grocery store aisles if the right song came on. Life had gotten busier over the years, and those moments had become rare. But sometimes, he said, you had to make your own joy, even if it was in the middle of chores. The rest of that day seemed brighter. We did eventually finish cleaning the living room, but it didn't feel like a chore anymore. We joked, told stories, and even made plans to have a dance break every Saturday. And we actually stuck to it, though sometimes it was just one quick song before we went back to whatever we were doing. Years later, whenever I think about my parents, that morning is one of the first memories that comes to mind. Not because it was extraordinary, but because it wasn't. It was proof that love doesn't have to be grand gestures or expensive gifts. It can be in shared laughter, messy hair, and matching mismatched socks while dancing in a living room.